Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork guide, sitting in my corner. Going to give you a little rundown. I believe today is the 21st of April. Been a very interesting month. Lots of wind, more wind, and wind. Lots of it. But let's go to the board. Yesterday, we were supposed to have thunderstorms in the morning and 20-mile-an-hour plus winds in the afternoon, so I canceled my trip. It was kind of a trade deal that I'd done with a good friend of mine who moved a lot of dirt here on the McFarland property when we dug the pond last year. And it really wasn't ideal. But once again, I listened to the stupid weatherman, who is just pathetic, because they can't tell us when we should run from the thunder lightning and someone dies, and yet they predict that thunder lightning tell us that it's coming with a high percentage, and it doesn't. It's really bad. It truly is. In fact, if you go look at the WAP app, the day that the man died here, there's no record of their recorded predictions. But let's move on. So I didn't fish yesterday, and the morning actually wasn't so bad. The high winds did come in the afternoon, but no lightning, no thunder, no rain. Today, pretty decent little day, stable. The water's 66 degrees, 74 in some of the backwaters. Still not as many bedfish, really, or any bedfish, to so to speak of, visually. There's just definitely not the amount of fish trying to spawn like there should be. And most of the guys are not even pursuing it because of it. 0 to 2 foot of water visibility, depends on where you are. 39702 is the elevation of the lake, which is 6 feet below full pool, but stable. We even kind of came up 1/100th of whatever that is, an inch or less. Stable, let's leave it at that, okay? Good shape, everything's cool. We really should have all kinds of spawning fish. We're coming off of a moon phase. The full moon was Tuesday, and we're catching fish. We're catching a lot of fish. In fact, Tuesday, I think I last talked to you, we had 30 fish between 2 boats. Didn't fish yesterday. Today was interesting. I struggled with my boat a little bit. And Brooke was out there by herself. She's done a lot of her own homework. She's preparing and learning the lake so that she can guide some in the future, just part-time, and really with exclusive clients only. But that's irrelevant. She was out today fishing by herself, and she actually caught them again. Man, she's the real deal. She can catch these fish, and she's really, really good at it. So she had another couple dozen fish in her boat. Man, at the end of the day, I decided let's go ahead and go around her. And it turned out that one of our other fellow guides had some boat issues. And I thought, well, listen, I'll throw my clients on Brooke's boat and I'll go rescue him. And long story short of it, he didn't need to be rescued. I had already thrown the clients on Brooke's boat, so we left him there. It was kind of like giving Brooke, the last hour of the day, test her on her guiding skills that she's learning. It wasn't 10 minutes, there's fish in the boat. So I kind of was like flying the white flag. I really was joking. I'll never fly the white flag at fishing, but the girl's for real. And on that note, since this is a public rundown, I really, really feel obligated to bring something up that I normally never would. I'm not a drama guy. I really don't care to get involved in the drama stuff. But Lake Fork has a reputation. It has a reputation for years of blah, 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 he said, she said. And to be honest with you, it's rare to hear me say this, but it's a bunch of little baby whiners. It really, that's all it is. It's flat out high school baby little whiners that can't hang. And right now you may hear some nonsense that Brooke's guarding fishing holes for me. It's nonsense. It's straight out nonsense. And I'm going to tell you, the men that are out there saying it, they're not men. And those men won't stand in the parking lot and face me eyeball to eyeball and tell me that nonsense, but they'll put the chap out there in the public so that it becomes drama here on Lake Fork. You know what? Dust off my shoulders. It's a joke. There's one fishing spot that she has been on this whole week. One spot on 39 miles of lake with 330 miles of shoreline. If that affects anybody, I will tell you, you don't belong here. and you're a baby for whining about it. So enough of that. I'm bigger and better, but I had to get this off my chest. The public deserves to know better. This gal is a first-class gal, and she is going to be making a career in fishing, and she will be my partner in McFarland Fishing, and she will be on television with me, on YouTube with me, and guiding here on Lake Fork. End of story. Let's get back to some public talk. The weather for the next few days. 65 degrees, 84 tomorrow. 65, 83 on Saturday. 62, 83 on Sunday. Southeast winds tomorrow, 10 to 20. Looks pretty fair. That's a good realm for us. We catch fish in that. Saturday, 15 to 25 miles an hour with high gusts again above 35. Crazy, crazy. I'm going to make a statement about that in a minute. But Saturday and Sunday again now, we got the southeast winds come back 5 to 10. Another mild day. Those fish should be biting over this weekend. Just be careful on Saturday and those high winds. And then Sunday, actually in the evening, night, after you're done fishing, there's supposed to be thunderstorms coming, some heavy rain. But listen, for 2022, we have had 9 days in the month of April with excess of 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, gusts up to 60 miles an hour. The average is 4 to 5 days in that month of excess of 20 to 30. We're double the amount of wind. It's an amazing year. Super long winter that never went away. Wind, you know what? Hey, wind's our friend. Mark Peck used to say, if you don't like wind in April, don't come to Fork. But man, we have really had brutal wind. And we need the wind to catch the fish. But by gosh, we don't need it this big. It destroys things. It shakes bolts loose in our boats. It breaks mounts, all kinds of things. And I'm going to tell you what, it breaks your back and your tailbone and everything else. We've been under power pole with waves coming over the back of our boat, bilge pumps running for days. I can't dry my boat out. Things start to smell like mold. I'm kind of sick of the wind, but wind is your friend. Brooke this week has been on the same spot. Period. She hasn't moved. She's locked down and spent 8 straight hours on the same spot. And she's had waves literally captivating her boat, soaking everything, even all the way into the bottom of the console. A couple of times ankle deep while the bilge pumps were trying to keep up. Smashing the bass on Lake Fork. Smashing them. That's all there is to it. So 9 days of crazy wind in 2022, April, and more to come. Bite's really good, guys. Main lake points, secondary points, inside legs of the coves. They're starting to move in. There are males in the backs of some of the coves. The inside legs is where you're going to find the biggest fish, okay? There's nothing but wood right now. No cover, no grass, no bushes in the water. It's all wood, tree stumps and laydowns. So get your pitching sticks, because really that's the best thing you're going to do when you're in the backwater. Pitch and flip every single stump you can. There's a little bit of shad spawn happening from day to day. If you'll focus on watch the birds, you look for the blue herons, look for the white egrets, watch the seagulls, and watch the small tern bird. The tern bird looks kind of like a seagull, but he dives. He dives like a falcon would, or like a what's that other predator bird? Not the eagle. The osprey. The osprey will fold his wings and just and dive. Watch where the little tern bird looks like a seagull, but it's not. He's got a pointed bill instead of a regular bill like a seagull does. And he'll dive bomb the shallow waters. That's where you're seeing the shad spawn. A lot of different baits and ways to catch those fish. In fact, a lot of different ways to catch the fish right now, period. If you're wondering what those baits are, well, here it is. Your personal invite. Personally inviting you to come to my members only channel. It's $4.99 a month. You spend more on a crankbait or a spinnerbait these days. In fact, a spool of fluorocarbon that you put on your fishing reel costs you more than that. $4.99 a month to subscribe to my members only channel, where I spill my guts and how McFarland Fishing is catching the fish, and the locations and how to precisely what we're doing. Okay? We use the rule of 3. If you don't know what the rule of 3 is, you need to subscribe. I teach you what it is. We use the rule of 3 to put you in the right area. And believe me, Brooke is my partner. Brooke is part of McFarland Fishing. So we'll be sharing her fish as well. Okay? This is about helping you guys, but you got to be a members only to get the goods in the detail. All right? Very simple. If you're on your laptop or your desktop, just hit the join button. It's right there, easy to use. Follow the steps. You'll be a member in a few minutes. If you're using your app, your phone, it's a little more difficult. I really don't have any recommendations other than to go use a desktop or a laptop. But please, I'd love you to come to the members only. I promise I'm earning your business. I promise you're getting really good content. Not only is that content so good for Lake Fork, but the rule of 3 has been used by members that are current members in other lakes locally and even in other states. I've had guys send me testimonies. If you are a member, go read some of the comments. Men from other states on other lakes have used the rule of 3 that I've said on Lake Fork. And lo and behold, the fish are doing the same thing in their state too. So, awesome times on Lake Fork. Love you to be a part of us. I have only 2 days left in May, and June is filling fast. If you want to fish with Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork guide on Lake Fork, you better get off the pot and get me booked now. If you're interested in fishing with Brooke, it's going to be exclusive clients only, not an open door policy, probably only part-time, but by May, she will be ready to take some bookings. So I'm Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork guide, giving you a Lake Fork rundown for the 21st of April, 2022.